Many smartphones on the market, but right now we're talking about one getting a lot of buzz that will be out on the market soon. Techspert Dan Thompson from Claris Networks is here to talk about the Samsung Galaxy S4. Good to see you, Dan.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Give us a kind of a quick overview about this thing.
Yeah, sure. So it was announced last week. Basically, this is the newest lineup from Samsung, and what it is it's it's a 5-inch display, so it's a really big phone. It can support up to 128 gigs of space, which today is the largest amount of space you can get on a cell phone. It's faster, it's prettier, it does 1080p. So I mean, it's all the bells and whistles you would expect from a new cell phone. And here's some kind of pictures of it. But ultimately, though, what it brings to us is a little bit of innovation. Samsung is trying to bring in some of the latest trends, so it's got like a pedometer, it's got a heart rate monitor, it's got an altimeter. So, I mean, it's like anything you could think of to do with your phone, it'll do. It has also a neat new feature where when you're looking at it, like say, for example, you're playing a video and you're looking at the screen, if you look away, it'll automatically pause your video for you. Yeah, it's weird. And then when you look back, it'll start playing it again.
What is that?
Yeah, so it's weird. And it kind of has this almost like a Big Brother feel, because that means the camera is on all the time, but we won't go into that.
What? Wait, what? So yeah. It knows when you look away?
Yeah, so it can tell when you look away, when you're holding the phone and you're staring at it. If you tilt the phone, it'll scroll down. If you tilt it the other way, it'll scroll up. So lots of neat new features that kind of keep you hands-free. But what was most interesting about the conversation at the Samsung launch event was that they didn't really mention Android. Now, Samsung has an operating system that they're going to release later this year. It's called Tizen. This will run on a new phone that's yet to be announced. It'll come out probably in August. But this has the industry largely thinking, well, what's going on here? Is Samsung trying to distance themselves from Android? So now there's going to be a third phone type out on the market. So where that's going to leave us all, we don't quite know yet, but it is interesting to see the shakeup.
What is this going to do to Apple?
Well, so that's a great question. So last week or the week before last, the CEO of BlackBerry actually made the comment that Apple has been failing to innovate, which is pretty laughable because of all the companies in the industry, BlackBerry is really the one that hasn't been innovating. But on some level, I agree with that. Like, so if you look at the last 3 iPhones that have been released, they've really failed to do much of anything that was just exciting. I mean, they're nice devices. They do exactly what they're supposed to do, but there's nothing really there that's new and shocking. However, in the rumor mill, Apple has the iWatch, which is supposed to be coming out sometime maybe this year, maybe never, who knows. But the device itself, you'll be able to make phone calls off of. So you'll have this device that you now wear that you can make phone calls off of. So maybe in the future we don't have phones anymore, you just have a watch.
Kind of like Captain Kirk.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of Star Trek-y, right?
Yeah.
Now the other thing in the market is Google's Glass product, which is a set of eyeglass looking things. It's a little James Bond-ish. And you can also make phone calls from that.
And you control the screen with your eyes on that.
Yeah,
right?
you do. So it's kind of this augmented reality thing. So maybe in the future we won't have phones anymore. You'll just wear some device and you'll make calls off of that. Or maybe we'll just have phones.
Unbelievable. All right. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. When we come back, basketball commentator Dickie V faces off in a March Madness bracket with some unlikely opponents. And what would March Madness